Good morning, students. Today I have explained subject Computer Studies, Standard 12, Lesson number 8, Classes and Object in Java, Part 1. First is the introduction. A class contains both data referred to as attributes and program code, that means a function referred to as method. While it is possible to use only a single class in a Java project, this is not a good practice for large application. When designing software, we should divide the entire application into simpler components that perform logically related tasks. For each such a component or module, we may create a class. Let us understand the concept of class and object in Java programming through an example of room. A room of a house, hotel, hostel, or school possess common characteristics. Each room can be uniquely identified by its properties like length, width, height, number of windows, number of doors, and directions. Now we create a class named room with the attribute length, width, height, number of windows, and three methods. The first method will be used to assign value to attribute. The second method will calculate the area, while the third will display its attributes. So that is a introductions. Next is a example. Example, that is a classroom. Classroom, starting curly brackets, float length, width, and height. Bytes and windows, that means a number of windows. Void set attr, brackets, float L, float W, float H, and byte n. Float L, that means length, width equals to W, height equals to H, and number of windows equals to N. So that is a and set attribute method. Next is a double area. Return length into width. That means end of the area method. End of the curly brackets. Void display, starting curly brackets, system.out.println length, system.out.println width, system.out.println height, system.out.println number of windows, and end of the display method, and end of the room class. So next, using room class to create a object and run application. Class room demo, starting curly brackets, public static void main string arguments, starting curly brackets, create a room object, assign default value to attributes. Room R1, that means a reference variable with a null value by default. R1 equals to new room. Both declare and create in one statements. Room R2 equals to new room. Display two room object with initial default value R1 dot display and R2 dot display. Next is a assign value to attribute of object. R1 dot set attr 18 12.5f 10 brackets byte and 2. R2 dot set attr 14 11 10 by 2. Next is the display update contents R1 dot display and R2 dot display. Display area system dot out dot println area of room with length plus r1 dot length plus width plus r1 dot width is plus r1 dot area. So same is a r2 and end of domain and end of the room demo. Two objects r1 and r2 of classroom are created first. They are initialized with default value. Numeric value are 0 by default. The content of these two objects are displayed using display method. Invoking setAttr method with numeric literals as parameters. Attribute of room objects are modified for both the object R1 and R2. The updated contents of two objects are displayed. So that is a example of class. Next is a class in Java. A class is a template for multiple objects with similar features. Classes embody all the features of a particular set of objects. For examples, class room is a template for all rooms with their common properties. In Java, class is defined using class keyword as follow: class, class name, starting curly brackets, variable, and method, and end of the curly brackets. Every class we write in Java is generally made up of two components: attributes and behavior. Attributes are defined by variables in a class. Behavior is defined by methods in a class. Methods are used to access or modify attributes. Next topic is creating a object. First, I will explain the class, and second is a object. So, creating a object from a class requires the following steps. First is a declaration. A variable name of type class is declared with syntax class name and variable name. Insertions, keywords, insertions, that means a keyword new is used to create the object by allocating memory. Next is the initializations. That means a constructor. Constructor, that means a special kind of method, and that is a constructor. So constructor is called to initialize the newly created objects. And in Java, a class is a type similar to the built-in types such as int and boolean. So a class name can be used to specify the type of a variable in a declaration statement, the type of a formal parameter, or the return type of a function. To declare an object of class room, use following statement: room R1. Declaring a variable does not create an object. This is an important point to be remembered. In Java, no variable can ever store an object. A variable declared using class type can only store a reference to an object. So variable of class type are also referred to as reference variables. Here R1 is a reference variable. Next step is to create an object using new keyword. We can create an object. Operator new allocates the memory for an object and returns the address of the object for later use. Reference is the address of the memory location where the object is stored. In fact, there is a special portion of memory called the heap where the object is live. When an object is created, in additional to allocating memory, a special method called a constructor is executed to perform initially task. Next, let us create an object of type room and assign its address to variable r1 as follow. R1 equals to new room. Here parentheses are important. Don't leave them off with empty parentheses without arguments. A default constructor is a called. It initializes the attributes, that means a variable of the object using default value. The parentheses can contain argument that determine the initial value of variable. This is possible by using user defined constructor. Both the above steps used to declare and create an object can be combined into a single statement as follow. Room R2 equals to new room. Every object has its own set of data. In Java, when objects are no more needed, the memory is claimed back for reuse. Java has garbage collector that looks for unused objects and reclaims the memory that those objects are using. We do not need to any explicitly freeing of memory. In object-oriented programming, that means OOP language, creating an object is also called object instances. An instance for an object is created by allocating memory to store the data for that object. An object that belongs to a class is said to be an instance of that class. Thus, an instance of a class is another word for an actual object. Class is an abstract representation of an object. Where is an instance is its construct representations. In fact, the terms instance and objects are often used interchangeably in OOPS language. To define an object's behavior, we create method. In Java, method can be defined inside a class only. This method can be invoked using the object to access or modify the instance variable. Such a method are known as a instant method. So next topic is accessing instance variable and calling instance method. Instance variable and instance method are accessed via object. They can be referred by using dot operator as follow. First is the object reference, second is the instance variable or a method. So between the operator is dot. Example r1 dot length and r1 dot display. Note that here dot is an operator and associately of dot operator is from left to right. Remember, the data should be protected from such direct access modifier that we will see later. When the instance variable are referred within the method of the same class, there is no need to use dot operator. Instance variable are accessed without using dot operator. This is possible because method is invoked using reference variable r1, and thus referred instance variable are considered to be of the corresponding object stored at r1. When we only declare an object using class, object is not created. In this case, a reference variable does not refer to any object and its initial value is null by default. Use of such null reference or null pointer is illegal and may raise an exceptions. So referring instance variable or invoking method with null reference will give an error. Next is a class variable and class method. Value of instance variable are stored in instance, that means memory allocated for the object, whereas values of class variable are stored in class itself. Let us declare class variable total windows by adding a following statement in class with instance variable static int total windows. Static variable can be accessed without creating an instance of a class. Just like class variable, class method can be defined using static keyword. Static void display total windows, starting curly bracket system.out.println total windows plus tot windows, end of the curly brackets. Class variables and class method can be accessed outside the class using class name, class variable or method name. For example, room dot total windows, room dot display total windows. Next topic is a classification of variable declared in a class. Local variable. Variable defined inside method or blocks are called local variable. Formal parameters of the method are also local variables. They are created when the method or block is started and restored when the method or block has completed. Local variables are not initialized by default value. Instance variables are variables defined within a class but outside any method. These variables are allocated memory from heap area when an object is instant, that means created. Instance variable are initialized by default value. So that is the instance variable. And next is a class variable. First is a local variable, next is a instance variable, third is a class variable. So class variable are variable defined within a class outside any method with the static keyword. These variables are allocated memory only once per class and is set by all its object. Class variable are initialized with default values. So that is a classification of variable declared in class. Next is a polymorphism. Polymorphism, that means method overloading. The word polymorphism means many forms, different forms of method with same name. In Java, there can be different method that have the same name but different signature. This called method overloading. The method signature is a combination of the method name, the type of return value, object or a base type, a list of parameters. For example, to find maximum of 2 integers, maximum of 3 integers, maximum of 3 double precisions, real number, and so on, one requires to perform similar tasks but on different set of numbers. In such scenario, Java facilitates to create a method with the same name but different parentheses. that is a parameters. Finding maximum does not need creations of any object, so it can be done as static class method. For example, static int max brackets integer x and integer y, starting curly brackets and end of the curly brackets. Static int maximum integer x integer y integer z. Static double max double x double y and double z. So that is a example of method overloading, that is a polymorphism. So next is a example polymorphism method print line, class print line, starting curly bracket starting void print line, for loop for integer int I equals to 0, I less than 40 and I plus plus, system dot out of println that is equal to signs, system dot out of println starting ending of the curly brackets and of the curly brackets static void println integer n for starting curly brackets for loop int I equals to 0, I less than n and I plus plus, starting curly brackets, system dot out of print has sign, system dot out of print end of the curly brackets, end of the curly brackets, static void println chr character ch and int integer n for loop integer I equals to 0, I less than n and I plus plus, starting curly brackets, system dot out of println bracket ch, system dot out of println end of the curly brackets, end of the curly brackets, and class println public class poly demo, public static void main string arguments, starting curly brackets, println dot println dot println 30, println dot println plus 20, end of the main and end of the poly demo class. So that is an example of polymorphism. Next is the constructors. Constructor is a special kind of method that is invoked when a new object is created. Constructor can perform any actions, but it is mainly designed to perform initialize actions. Every class is having its default constructor, sometimes referred to as no argument constructor. It initializes the attributes of a newly created object using default value based on their data types. Constructor differs from general method in the following ways. Constructor must have the same name as class name. Constructor does not have a return type. Constructor is invoked implicitly only when an object is constructed using new operator. Constructor cannot be invoked explicitly uh, elsewhere in the program. Like other method, constructor can also be overloaded. It is possible with varying list of parameters. So that is a using constructor example. Class room, starting curly brackets, port length, width and height, bytes number of windows, static integer total windows, that is a class variable. Room, float L, float W, float H and byte n. L equals to length, W equals to width, H equals to height. N windows equals to n, total windows equals to plus equals to n, start n of the curly brackets, room, float L, float W, starting curly brackets, length equals to L, width equals to W, height equals to 10, and windows equals to n, total windows plus plus, end of the curly brackets, double area, that means area equals to length into width. So return length into width, end of the area method. Void display, starting curly brackets, system dot out of println. First is the length, system dot out of println height, system dot out dot println windows. So end of the display method, end of the room class. Classroom constructor demo A, starting curly brackets, public static void main string arguments, starting curly brackets, room r1 equals to new room, 16, 12.5. Room R2 equals to new room 20, 14, 12 and byte 2. R1 dot display, R2 dot display, system dot print ln access and total number of windows plus room dot total windows, end of the main, end of the constructor. So today class is over. So remaining parts I will explain in next session. Stay home, stay safe.